Good morning, quick video today because I want to show you some of the things that have been on Facebook that haven't actually made it to my YouTube channel. I know Neil McCoy Ward has just done a superb expose on what's been going on with ULEZ, so I'll leave him to deal with that one. I want to show you the BYD ship that's just come in, and I want to talk a little bit about these hilarious armoured vehicles that Sadiq Khan owns. There's 18 of them, they're 300 grand each, and we're going to get into the hypocrisy of London and ULEZ and the hypocrisy of the green agenda and net zero. So let's dive right into some of the stuff that's been on Facebook that hasn't yet made it to YouTube. While Ron is on his way here with the BMW that I won in yesterday's auction. So if we scroll down a little bit, this is a ship that has arrived, I think, in Bristol yesterday, actually. Now, this is the BYD X'ian. It has 7,000 cars on board. So I asked ChatGPT, well, Google Gemini, same thing. I've been doing a few bits with Google Gemini this week because I've been using it to help me digest an auction spreadsheet. And it was all going very well up until I asked it to provide me with a top 10 best performing cars in the auction that I was looking at. And it did the first one very well and then gave me 9 cars that weren't even in the auction. So I don't know what that was all about. However, let's take a look at this. This BYD X'ian has got 7,000 cars on board. And according to AI, it probably produced an estimate of 20,000 tonnes of CO2 on its way here. So if you're looking forward to your zero emission EV, obviously these are primarily going to be electric cars that are on here. Before your car has even landed in the showroom, right, your car is sat there behind the glass on the showroom floor, it's already produced 1,800 kilos of CO2, right? Well, it's actually produced that before it's left the ship. This doesn't include all the pollution that was generated in making the cars and the batteries for those cars. So net zero is essentially a scam, and electric cars, I believe, are a scam. But the real winner here is China, because what we've done is we've handed them our European manufacturing and, well, the entire car industry. We've handed them the whole car industry on the basis that electric cars are better for the environment, which is hilarious because, as you can see, this huge ship coming all the way to the UK has produced 20,000 tonnes of CO2. I like the irony in that because I think that's funny because China are meant to be the enemy and we've basically just given them our car industry. And there's another irony here, which is like the Mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, who's, you know, in charge of the Met Police, in a way. And, well, he has got 18 of these armoured trucks. So we're going to look at that next. But before we go into the armoured trucks and look at the hypocrisy there, let's carry on a little bit more with this BYD. So 20,000 tonnes of CO2 is equivalent to about 6,000 miles of CO2 from my Volvo for every car that's on the ship. So most of the cheap leasing deals for EVs, well, they're for about 5,000 miles a year, if you take a look, which means you won't pay back the CO2 saving of an EV until year 2. So the saving that you're making with an EV in year 1, the CO2 that you are saving by not producing CO2 from your tailpipe, at the 12-month point, you've only broken even with the CO2 that was produced on the journey to the UK. Yeah, that's what I say here. That's only paying back the CO2 that was generated, bringing it to this country. And we haven't even talked about what it took to manufacture the car and the fact that 75% of EVs are using non-renewable electricity to charge them anyway. And then you've got to look at the fact that you'll replace that EV at year 3, which is hilarious. Not that these people care, because as I say here, they're usually either a company car or a Motability car, because no one in their right mind would buy a brand new car with real money, their own actual real money. Not that money is real anyway, but that, as I say here, is a post for another day. I don't think anyone walks into a showroom, buys an electric car with actual money. They're all paid for by somebody else through salary sacrifice schemes or Motability. Now, let's go and take a look at what's going on with... there were some comments on Twitter as well, which were quite amusing, because some people said, well, Geoff, how do you think cars get from Germany to China? Is that not the same thing? Well, the answer is it's different, because the Chinese are not buying German cars because the government is incentivizing them because they think they save the planet or they're greener. The Chinese are buying German cars because they want to show off that they're wealthy. It's not the same thing. So someone commented on Twitter saying, "Oh, Geoff, well, what about the tonnage of CO2 produced going to China?" I don't care. It doesn't matter because their government isn't hoodwinking the populace into thinking that these things are better for the environment and destroying their economy at the same time. So let's move on. In part 2 of our hypocrisy video today, let's take a look at the photos of this police armed vehicle. It's a Plasan Sandcat, okay? The Met Police have got 18 of these. The Scottish Police have got one as well. They are £100,000 each, and they are powered by a 6.7 litre V8 twin turbocharged diesel, right? And they can do 7 miles to the gallon because it weighs 8.5 tons. Now, interestingly, when it comes to net zero, obviously this is hilarious because Sadiq Khan has bought these to use in London, right? London, which is meant to be a peaceful, safe place that has lovely clean air. Now, on the clean air thing, you run all these number plates of these Plasan Sandcats that you can find, run them all through a number plate checker. They all come up as ULEZ free. Now, my conspiratorial brain would say the reason that's coming up as ULEZ free is because Sadiq Khan has made them ULEZ free. And you can do that. I've got a guy that I can text. I can give him 500 quid and he can make my car ULEZ free. More on that maybe another day, but maybe not because I'm sitting on that for a little while. So anyone can make a car ULEZ free if you've got access to the correct systems. The other side of this is there's a chance that these vehicles, if they are going to be ULEZ free, there's a chance that they meet Euro 6 diesel regulations. And in order to meet Euro 6 diesel regulations, can you imagine? I chatted to my mechanic Luke last night about this, and he said, how much AdBlue is that thing using to make it Euro 6? Imagine the size of the EGR and the DPF to make this thing Euro 6. And then imagine the size of the repair bills, because we know that modern diesels are rubbish. And I've got a video coming up about that because both diesel cars that I bought recently have been financially ruinous. Ask me about my Volvo C30 with the Peugeot 1.6 diesel engine. Anyway, I know the Met Police don't pay road tax. Why not? But this would obviously, at £300,000, it would fall into the luxury car tax bracket, which means first year road tax is going to be £5,500 just to tax it. And this 6.7 diesel that does 7 miles per gallon, as we said, it is ULEZ free, which makes no sense. But the best part is, bearing in mind that Sadiq Khan is in charge of London and he's a Muslim, he's purchased, and he likes to do this flag waving, doesn't he? He's on board with Palestine and he likes to wave a flag and say free Palestine and all that sort of stuff. But he's purchased 18 of these £300,000 vehicles from Plasan, who are an Israeli company. And on their website, they claim that the Plasan Sandcat has been battle tested. Well, which battle does Sadiq Khan think that this has actually been tested in? So there we go. That is a couple of posts that I've had. Both of these posts went pretty viral as well, which is why I wanted to put them on YouTube as well. Look, 3,600 likes on that, 1,700 comments, 1,300 shares. And let's just take a quick look before my kids and wife get back from their morning walk. And there were a couple of comments that were really funny. I like this one from Paul. Bearcats used by SWAT in the US, totally bulletproof, even the tyres. They'll be used to storm people's houses if they make a right-wing comment on Facebook. But there was a really good comment from someone, let me see if I can find it, about what you do about these things. And when you actually look at what this vehicle is for, I can't find it, so let's look at the pictures again. When you look at what this vehicle is for, right, it is extremely well defended, but look, cast your minds back to what Just Stop Oil have been up to. You know when Just Stop Oil have got one of them orange paint things and they spray paint all over the place, right? Well, orange paint on the windows of this would render it completely unusable, which means if they know that a bit of orange paint is going to render this unusable, then it must be heavily weaponized inside. So it's an attack vehicle, isn't it? Because it's no good as defense, because orange paint would wipe it out. I thought that was quite interesting anyway. So that's the future that we've got for us. London obviously has a ULEZ zone that is raising loads of money and isn't doing anything about clean air. And then we've got this incredibly peaceful new world that Sadiq Khan has created for us in London, which requires the use of 18 £300,000 vehicles bought from Israel, who are, I'm not getting into it, but you know it, I know it. And the best documentary I've ever seen about the Israel-Palestine thing is one that Louis Theroux did probably 15 10, 15 years ago. Go find the documentary, Louis Theroux and the Ultra-Zionists, and that'll tell you everything you need to know. I don't really want to wade in on the whole Israel-Palestine thing, but you've got to admit that it's pretty hilarious that the Muslim mayor of London is trying to create a peaceful capital city, and in his peaceful capital city, he's buying weaponised armoured vehicles from Israel. So there you go. That's my Friday video. Lots to do for the rest of the day, so I'm heading out for the rest of the day now. My BMW that I won in the auction yesterday is on its way up from the Haynes Motor Museum. Ron's got it on his truck now, so we'll be seeing that over the weekend. And thank you very much for watching. Right, lastly, for the end of this video, I created this Instagram account last night. It's called Geoff's Fantasy Cars. So follow Geoff's Fantasy Cars on Instagram. This is somewhere for me to put my AI-generated images that I am using for YouTube videos. I was playing around with a few different things. Oh, I've got to log in. I'm not doing that on my computer. Go and have a look on your phone. So basically, I was playing around with a few different things last night. That is Die Another Day, the James Bond movie, but if you replace the Jag with an Aston. Then I did a whole series of James Bond with different Aston Martins, and it was really funny, him standing in front of a DBX. I did some Fast and Furious ones as well, taking the original Fast and Furious cars and translating them onto their modern counterparts. Changed the BMW from Tomorrow Never Dies to the new one, and then that's the Bullet Mustang as well, done as a Mustang Mach-E. And I've just been enjoying messing around with it a bit. That's a Peugeot RCZ convertible. We've got a Marlboro Tesla race car, Woody BMW, Lamborghini, and some of my dream cars as well. So just a bit of fun for me, really. So if you want to follow what I'm generating on AI whilst I'm having a bit of fun, then yeah, go follow Geoff's Fantasy Cars. Oh, is it Geoff's Fantasy Cars? Geoff's Fantasy Cars on Instagram. Just opened that account last night, and I'll post on that periodically. Right, enjoy the rest of your Friday. My BMW's on the way up with Ron, and yeah, lots going on. Quite exciting. Vehicles incoming. I'm looking forward to my BMW. Right, have a great Friday.
Nice little Norris 8. Austin 7. Lovely Lotus. The old Jag over there. A Wolseley, an old NG, and then little Sinclair cars, another Lotus, another Aston. Oh, let's see one then. Liege or Liege. There you go, Geoff. Quick little video of that Packard.
With the introduction of the Packard 200, an upper middle class car but not quite luxurious as Packard standard models, original Packard buyers started to get confused. Packard was the luxury rich boy, right? What is he trying to do?
What an absolute little beauty. I mean, it's locked up, so I can't show you inside of it, but as you can see, it's quite nice. There's that little Morris Minor. We've got the little Wolseley. And we've got the little BSA there. And we've got the Aston Martin convertible. Oh, look at that. That's cute. Is it Austin 7, I think? And there's the Jag. Oh, the Sovereign, sorry. And then there's the Packard. It's really nice up close and personal. There's a bit of shoddy paintwork there on the wheel arch, but you can't really see it steamed up now. But a lovely bit of kit.